Thank you for joining us for this first session. Thank you for coming on a Sunday morning. We're going to be talking about citizen science engaging in the science and stewardship of freshwater resources. So we kind of made the title really small for the agenda. We got some great speakers lined up for you. It was fantastic to have Mary Powers kick things off for us because there's a tremendous amount of citizen science going on at the Gill River in many different aspects. Working with traditional and tribal sources, really neat stuff, and using the data, bringing us partners, fun stuff. So the way the morning's going to go, we're going to have all the presenters come up and they're going to give a 10-minute, 12-minute presentation, and then hopefully we have enough time for just a couple of questions, maybe 2-3 questions close. And then at the end, if we have time, we can have more Q&A amongst ourselves. And if y'all are interested, on the back table, there's a ton of citizen monitoring stuff from my office. EPA resources that are extremely hard to find on the internet because EPA cut the links. So I want to make sure you guys have what you want. And then Clean Water Team, me here in California, my contact information is in the back as well. So let's get started here, or otherwise we're going to be late. So I like to talk about citizen science as an avocational venture. Okay, there's lots of definitions out there. I don't like any of them. When we do science, we're either getting paid or not. So those that are not getting paid, okay, avocational. And some of my favorite guys that did really top-end science as citizens, we'll start with Al. Y'all know Al, right? Okay, he got his Nobel Prize for work that he did on his spare time when he was a patent clerk. Okay, a lot of people don't realize that. Ben Franklin, right, one of the founding fathers, citizen scientist who donated his patents. So he was not just a citizen scientist, but he behaved out of his heart to benefit society as a citizen. And then this dude here, nobody knows, but if you're a herpetologist, and there are herpetologists here, I hope somewhere, right? Lawrence Klauber was an engineer. He ran San Diego Gas and Electric, but he was the world's preeminent scientist for rattlesnakes. Cannot find any research out there with this work in the South. Applicational scientists. The big thing about citizen science that gets my program, the state of California, involved is that we can engage folks to produce actionable data, practical results. It's not just research to find out what's going on out there. It's trying to identify a problem, fixing a problem, and then protecting an area so that we don't have problems. It facilitates building trust between scientists and the general public, as well as decision makers, because not all the politicians believe the scientists. All right, and it goes back and forth. Okay, so if we work together, we can have some really nice relationships. And then it changes how we see science, education, and society, blending all those things together. There's a big myth out there that, hey, let's use some volunteers, some citizen scientists, we'll save a lot of money. We need to break that. Citizen science is cost effective, but you have to invest in supporting it. You have to be able to manage all those volunteers and support the acquisition of that data and the storing of that data and the QA validation of that data. Also, we get lots of these tangible benefits beyond just getting data. Things that nobody would have to pay a lot of money for that come if we do our work properly. So when we talk about science as it relates to management, we want best science. We hear that a lot. Best science. What is best science? It's information that's going to help you solve your problem. Plain and simple. If I can get that from a photograph, awesome. If I can get it from a laboratory and spending millions of dollars, and that's the only information, but it relates to my question, I can start moving on it, great. It doesn't have to always be that high-end, expensive research to solve our problems. And that means citizens can get involved because they don't need 20 years of training. to operate a machine to get those data points that we need. Actionable data is what I talk about a lot. We want to make sure that the information that citizen scientists are acquiring here in California isn't just for educational purposes. It's to improve and protect our waters. It's to empower the community so that they take over ownership of their watershed. They're there. Government's here in Sacramento. I live in LA, right? Most people don't even know that there's a water there. There's 2 rivers on either side of Long Beach where I'm at, right? Los Angeles and San Gabriel. They're polluted. Bring scientists out there, start studying those, and gee, all of a sudden we start getting care. We start getting bills passed and bans that support stewardship. And we also want to make sure that we value our volunteers' time and funders. Most of our citizen groups here in California, they're getting funded by their neighbors. They're getting grants, they're getting gifts. So we want to make sure that what we do is actionable and has lasting effect. So I go around, I preach these 7 things to make sure that the data is going to be usable. We preach metadata. Everything has to be recorded. Okay? It's not just going out there and collecting data. It's collecting metadata to go along with that. And we go above and beyond what most researchers would want because we know people are looking at us and scrutinizing our data. All of my groups, if they're going to be working with me, and they all do, they have to have a QAPP, Quality Assurance Project Plan. 16 years ago, we started citizen science here in California to collect freshwater and ocean data. Who had QAPPs? The counties or the citizen groups? Okay. The citizen groups by far had QAPPs. It was not the agencies. Okay. We're solving that problem. Because in Orange County now they all have QAPPs, just like the citizen groups. Okay. So we're producing data of known quality that's usable. So I go around making sure that people are behaving properly when they're doing their science and they're treating the volunteers well, right? And they're staying out of trouble. That helps them get their permits, help them with their QAPP, help them with the training, cheerleading for them, listening to their woes and their cries, right? Put on the Band-Aids programs. You know, you've got to do it all because it all counts. The diversity of what we do is just tremendous. We have any type of problem that's out there, citizen science have been dealing with it. Okay? From collecting data for radionucleotides coming off of a site in Santa Susana, to collecting samples and processing for fecal indicator bacteria. It runs the gamut. Wherever there's a problem, in California we have a citizen monitoring group that can get involved or has done that type of science elsewhere. The big myth, okay, we have to have a lot of data in order to solve our problems. No, we have to have data and we have to be able to turn that into information and then into policy. And citizens are really good about that. Citizen science is improving environmental literacy, field detection, refinement of our research questions, and the number and diversity of future scientists and environmental resource managers. I have seen within our volunteer pool, people become professionals, also become appointed to water quality control boards. So we are increasing literacy. We are seeing stewardship benefit from one of these impacts. Citizen science continues to contribute to, and I listed a whole bunch of things that have been going on here in California. Management of environmental resources. We have species management, you know, folks that are collecting data on salmonids, monitoring wetlands. King tide is crowdsourcing data is being used for climate change and climate change models. Policy making. We're seeing the adoption of water quality standards based upon citizen science data. We're using citizen science data also for the 303D list. We have citizen science groups, water quality-wise, and Audubon's doing some bird studies, and we have other groups that are doing tarball studies so we can get information to support whether or not we're having spills, or is it a natural occurrence. Citizen science are spreading knowledge. They're sharing their stories. They go out to the watershed, they're learning things, they're telling their neighbors. So we're broadening awareness and we're creating community memory. We're also seeing the increase in local personal environmental stewardship. Folks come out, they do a rapid trash assessment, they see the trash that's out there repeatedly, changes how they behave. They start recycling. They stop buying certain types of products. And we're seeing as more people get involved in their watershed, they went from Stinky Creek to Beautiful Creek because they have pride in the resources there. They ignored it before, now they support it. Wow, this is mine, I like it. I want to be part of making it protected and giving its benefits to me. So I grabbed this from ESA issue 19. It's just a little model about how citizen science influences decision making. So you have folks that can go out there and collect data, but they're also involved in sharing information otherwise. And so you have just general scientific information that they can present, but also they can facilitate things directly into the decision processes. Most of the rules and regulations for environmental impacts here in California, and all federal ones, have a public comment period. And having an informed constituency, also one with data, plays a big part in making sure that we have good decisions made, or slowing down the process of giving a decision so that we can make an appropriate determination on those projects before they go forward. California, we really want citizens to get involved. It's part of the law. Clean Water Act also allows citizens to get involved. We do see throughout the United States some states that have credibility laws. Credibility laws have nothing to do with quality assurance. It has to do with who I say, as a state, I will accept data from, and that's it. On the Clean Water Act, if you take your data to court, even in those states with credibility laws, and you sue a polluter, sue the agency for not doing what they're supposed to, they don't care about the credibility laws. The judge makes up to his mind whether or not he wants that data to be used. So, a lot of power for citizens. So we got to move on to the next. Thank you.